Hello and welcome! I am Jade of Jaded Reader, and today I'm going to be going over my February TBR. Yes, I'm fully aware we're already past the first week of February. Yes, this is completely on brand. This is what you will continue to get. And yes, I am indeed sorry. Obviously, February has already started, but if I'm being honest, I haven't actually done a lot for February so far. The beginning of February was a hot mess at work, and I apologize. I know that I have been kind of staggering my videos, so it's every 2 weeks. That's not a usual practice that I want to keep, but I am recognizing that it's currently what's happening. That was a fully charged battery that I watched go to zero. I'm gonna just try and ignore the battery. We are not at zero. You're lying. If I have to switch out batteries, I'll switch out batteries. I think it's lying. You are fully charged. I have 2 readathons that I am doing in February. Obviously, I don't always do a TBR, but since I am doing readathons in this month, I definitely want to recognize the readathons I'm doing, especially since one is a read-along and will be pretty much taking up all of 2020, including after I've moved to Japan. So I want to recognize it early on so I have the foundation and can just refer back as we keep going. But anyway, the point is I'm rambling, and let's get on to the 2 readathons I'm doing this February. First off, I will get the big one out of the way, the one that's extending all the way throughout 2020, and that is Cosmeralong, which is hosted by Rachael Marie at Rachael Marie's Book Journey. And Rachael has really shown her ambition this time. I am fully on board with this, but as I looked further and further into it, I realized I have been missing out on an entire universe that I'm very ready to explore, but it is expansive. So I'm gonna explain a little bit of Cosmeralong. If you haven't heard of the Cosmiverse, let me say the word Mistborn and things might start to click in. The Cosmiverse is by Brandon Sanderson and is an expansive, high adult fantasy world where you have several standalones and trilogies that all take place in the same universe but don't necessarily connect. If you've already read part of the Cosmiverse, then you can jump right into this. Rachael does have a reading order, though she has said in her video that there's not necessarily a reading order. So again, if you're just jumping right in, you can jump in where you'd like to if you've already read some of these books, and it should just be a lot of fun. Our first book that we are planning to tackle for the Cosmeralong is Elantris. I'm holding it up because all of my books pretty much for this month are ebooks. I am trying to use my Kindle app more, and this month was the first month I'm really trying it out. Plus, this cover is really ugly, and I can't afford this cover. So for right now, it's an ebook. If I end up loving the series as I go along, I will end up trying to pick up these covers, but for right now, we're ebooking it. Don't need that cover on my shelves. It is atrocious. For a little understanding about Elantris, Elantris' story centers around these godlike individuals that used to live in a realm called Elantris, but the powers that they use in order to become these deity-like god beings ends up creating some sort of plague, and the people that used to be godlike are now plagued in some sort of zombie-ish, apocalyptic, skin-rotting problem. So hopefully that's in your mind now. We have one character who is dealing with the plague, and another perspective who is in an arranged marriage that goes terribly awry when she arrives at her betrothed's kingdom only to find out he is gone, and there's interconnecting moments between these 2 characters and a plague. Remember that my summary is someone who has not read the book, so maybe do a little bit of research if you'd like a better summary, but I am going in fresh. I don't want a lot of knowledge since I am pretty completely unfamiliar with these books, and I'd like my best chance to just go in organically, so that's all I have for you on that. There will also be 2 short stories that we read. We are reading Emperor's Soul and Hope of Elantris, and so those are 2 short stories that I think can be found online. I do have all of Rachael's information linked down below, as well as a document she created, because if you are familiar with Rachael Marie, you know that she has documents, she has maps, she has everything you'll need to know, including frequently asked questions. So have no worries if you feel overwhelmed. She will put you at ease. After we have read all of these different things, we are going to have a live show at the end of March, which gives me more time. We are starting on Monday. What's the day today? I actually literally don't know what day of the week it is, and I don't know where my phone is. So I know it's my Monday, but if you watch this on a Tuesday, you'll be confused. So here's the date that Cosmeralong will begin, and I will again have all of Rachael's information linked down below. We have several co-hosts that are going to be joining us. So along with myself, there will be Kaz from Little Book Owl, Becca from Becca and the Books, Jessie from Bowties and Books, and Catherine from Catherine. I'm really excited to get to collaborate and explore and have dialogue with everyone, and I feel like this might be a series that would be daunting unless it was a buddy read or someone you could talk to. I'm really glad that this is how I'm going to be reading the series, or I'm not sure if I would have read it otherwise. Rachael will be hosting the first live show, and then we will all host our own live show, so eventually I will have a live show on my channel, which is probably the most terrifying thing I could imagine, but I am here to help. I did sign up for this, so we will be doing that on my channel eventually, at some point. Hopefully not while I'm in the middle of moving to Japan. After we finished Elantris, we will head into the Mistborn trilogy. The Mistborn trilogy is what I was already familiar with. I have heard of the Mistborn trilogy. I have seen the covers. They are gorgeous. Sometimes they're not. This might be something you are a little bit more familiar with. I kind of understood the premise to be a world where the villain won and has been ruling for like centuries, and it kind of takes place in almost an apocalyptic fashion, as I'm guessing when villains win, the world doesn't do well. So I love the idea of that, and I'm really looking forward to getting into the Mistborn trilogy. But then after that, we're also going into Warbreaker, and then after that, we have the Stormlight series, and honestly, you'll notice that I didn't put dates on any of the other ones, and that's because it will be mapped out as we go. We will kind of need to figure out our pacing, but I do know that Rachael will keep everyone updated in the document that I have listed below, because again, she's here to put you at ease. And I will periodically update you on where we are in the series, what I'm thinking so far. I will definitely be talking about the series in my wrap-ups, as well as announcing when live shows will happen. The first one, of course, being on Rachel's channel, but for future channels, whether it's mine or not, I will let you know where to find us. And if you don't want to rely on me, because I get it, then you can go to the Twitter page, which will have tons of information and facts for you to explore. Because Rachael is so interactive, we will have both Twitter and a Discord open. I believe Discord is already active, but there will be an open dialogue as we read, so you can really communicate and join in. You can have reading groups, you can talk to other individuals and make friends on there, you can have debates about who sucks and who is awesome. I really like the idea of it, and I am going to be completely new to Discord, so this will be my first Discord experience. I know most people are on Discord. I really don't even understand exactly how it works, so you can watch me mess around on there and fail. The only time I've ever used Discord is when talking to Rachael on like video game chats. Whole new experience. You can watch me fumble around. It'll be great. Next up is, of course, I'm doing Blackathon. Blackathon is hosted by Jessie at Bowties and Books, who is also a co-host. This is a very Jessie-centric month. February is Black History Month, and I am so excited to be doing a round 2 of Blackathon. Last Blackathon, I was able to discover one of my new favorite books, and that is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. She has a new book coming out that I cannot wait to pick up. Without Blackathon, I don't think I would have gotten to this book. I have never been interested in poetry, and I just wouldn't have picked it up. This year, the challenges are even more expansive, and Jessie has really just gone all out. There are Instagram challenges, Twitter challenges, YouTube challenges. Jessie has figured it out for really every platform, so you cannot go wrong. I will be participating in both the Twitter challenges and the YouTube challenges for Blackathon, so those are the prompts I'm going to read out. But of course, Jessie's video will be linked down below, and you can watch them and figure out what you'd like to participate in. It's not too late, especially for the Twitter challenges. Jessie has it mapped out so that you watching a movie each Friday, so if you have a tight schedule, you really can make this work, and they're incredibly inclusive with how to come across these videos. It's just a really fun way to go about it. I am incredibly inspired. Let's get into the challenges that I myself am going to do. First off, the Twitter challenges on February 7th, which has already passed. I've already completed this challenge. It's watching Coming to America. I did watch this a day earlier because I knew that I was going to have Soleil from Little Reader's Corner over, and we were going to be out late at a signing for Tomi Adeyemi. I figured I could get away with doing it a day earlier, and Coming to America is a movie I have seen previously, but I saw it as a kid, and watching it as an adult is a whole new experience. I highly recommend it. So even if you did miss this first challenge, you can go ahead and catch up. The next movie is not until next Friday, which is February 14th. For some, it's Valentine's Day. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I know I'm wearing red, but I don't do it. But if you do celebrate Valentine's Day, Jessie has thought of you, and the movie we will be watching is What Men Want. Apparently, it's kind of like a romancy rom-com. I think I've never watched this movie, so I'm looking forward to it, and I will definitely be incorporating it into my evening. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be good. Jesse has not let us down yet, and I don't think that they will now. Then on February 21st, the movie will be Love and Basketball. That sounds like it's going to be another romance, but that's just because it has the word love in it. It looks cute. I'm looking forward to that one. And then on February 27th will be Black Panther, and I am pumped. Any reason, any excuse that I can watch Black Panther, I absolutely will. I'm in. I'm down. It will be happening for sure. No worries there. Along with those Twitter challenges, there are also blackout dates that actually match this. So February 7th, the 14th, and the 21st will be blackout dates. That is where Black individuals of every shade and variation will be posting selfies, will be having self-love, and will be hashtagging it, I believe, Blackout and Blackathon 2020. I'll have the Blackathon hashtag down below, but I suggest going to Jesse's channel to get the rest of it. The way I will be incorporating myself into this challenge is by just retweeting and reposting that day. I may be less active or not active at all apart from reposting or retweeting those days. Finally, I have the YouTube challenges, and all of these challenges are actually named after Black authors. The first author in the first prompt is Janelle Monáe. Read about a Black protagonist. Very easy. I'm already 30 or 40% of the way through Daughters of Enri by Renia Mayo, and I am absolutely loving it. It has such beautiful, lush imagery. I just love the way I'm able to imagine this world, and the two main characters who are twins who find out that they are goddesses and need to, you know, figure that out are very distinct characters. I'm always able to tell which character's perspective I'm in. They're very unique individuals, and I just love it so far. I have gotten to the main meat of the plot now, and it's very hard for me to stop. This is not a book where I set it down very often. I sit down and I listen to a pretty large chunk of it. I am listening to this on audiobook. The audiobook narrator, in my opinion, is absolutely fantastic. She has a beautiful voice and definitely has all the different voices and emotions that I would need in an audiobook narrator to keep me entranced. She's spot on. Currently, I don't have the book. I have it ordered. By the time I get the physical copy, I might be done. Next up is Neri Okorafor, and that is to read a book with Afrofuturism. And for this, I'm reading Binti by Neri Okorafor. It seemed absolutely perfect, and I had actually just found out from Olivia's Catastrophes wrap-up, that Binti was a sci-fi. I had absolutely no idea. I've seen Binti all over the place. The cover is one that really sticks out to me every single time I see it, but I hadn't known it was sci-fi, and after hearing her explanation of the book and the summary, as she highly rated it and gave it an excellent review, I definitely want to pick this up, so I have grabbed it on Kindle. I have the Kindle book. It's very short, but I also found out that Binti is a trilogy, so hopefully I'm able to pick up the trilogy eventually and read it all the way through in a physical copy that's a little bit more substantial in size. Then I have probably the one I'm most excited for, and this is David F. Walker, which is to read a graphic novel or comic with a Black author and Black protagonist. All of my authors that I'm reading, apart from Elantris, are Black authors and have Black protagonists, and the graphic novel I chose was Karma the Unleashing. I am really excited for this one. Karma the Unleashing follows a girl with cerebral palsy who ends up gaining superpowers from a witch doctor, and if that is not enough to catch your attention, it is an own voices book where the author is both Black and has cerebral palsy, as well as when I looked her up, she also lives in Ghana as a Ghanaian disability advocate, and she's a software engineer. So I'm really hoping that I love Frida Bedway's work, as I already think she's amazing and I haven't even read it yet. Then finally, my last prompt for Blackathon is Danielle Clayton, and that is to read a book with a cunning or ambitious Black protagonist, and for that I will be reading A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This is the Fairy Loot edition. I absolutely think this is going to be fantastic. This follows two sisters who, in order to be queen, must ascend to the royal throne through a rivalry, and this is not just a regular battle, it's supposed to be a battle to the death. I'm really interested to see how this is done, as I absolutely love sister relationships in books, but this is not usually what I'm referring to, so I'm really excited to get into this and see what I think. I've only read the first few pages to see if I was really digging it, and I am, so I will hopefully be finishing this for Blackathon as well, and I've honestly never seen such ambitious and cunning individuals on a cover before, so I'm pretty sure I nailed this one. So that's it. That's all I have for the month of February. I know there's so many different readathons going on this month. I will definitely be feeling the fear of missing out, but I feel like I also have a pretty full caseload with all of these books, and and with my job and trying to actually film videos. So hopefully this will suffice, and regardless, I hope you're enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are. And until next time, bye! I got this. We got this. I'm not gonna wear these. Oof, I can see so much less. And Brandon Sanderson. Oh, good. I was correct. Cool. Battery exhausted. No, I'm exhausted. Okay, this battery isn't fully charged, but it's a lot better, and we're just gonna hope. Focus on my face, because I'm just simply not willing to set that book down, metaphorically, because it's an audiobook, so I'm not actually setting it down. I'm turning it off. Yeah, I always knew there would be bloopers.